Okay, people, what's going on tonight? I kind of wanted to make a quick little video about the whole PUBG PlayerUnknown Battleground 60 frames per second versus 30 frames per second, parity versus no parity, and people being hypocrites, people not being hypocrites, people making good points. Overall, let's just have a nice little good discussion about it. Now, apparently, one of the developers came out and said the game will be running 60 frames per second on the Xbox One X. Cool, that's what we want games to run at. The minimum a game should run at is 60 frames per second. So the Xbox One X and Bluehole, whoever the developer is that is making PUBG, congratulations. Only then, the next day, they announced that PUBG will run 30 frames per second across all Xbox One platforms, the whole entire Xbox One family, and people are kind of disappointed. Oh man. Whew. Put a little too much Bacardi in that drink, but so here's what's going on, people. You have two groups of gamers, the standard Xbox gamers and the gamers that upgrade to the Xbox One X. And the people that bought the Xbox One X, they are kind of annoyed, and rightfully so. I mean, they were promised the highest pixels, the highest frame rates, no compromises. But what is 30 frames per second? 30 frames per second is the definition of a compromise. And these people have a point. They bought a system to play games at high resolutions, to play games at higher frame rates, to play games at higher fidelity. You do not go out and spend $500 to play games the same way you're playing them on the older, $300 cheaper hardware. You just didn't. And I 100% agree with these people, because when I buy a new graphics card, when I buy a new CPU, when I buy a new anything, I do not expect it to perform exactly as the thing I had purchased or was using prior. I expect an improvement, hence why I am upgrading. What is the point of upgrading if I'm not seeing an improvement? Tell me. Please tell me. So, they're entirely in the right. When you buy a new video card, when you buy a new GPU, when you buy that brand new 1080, that brand new 1080 Ti, it better be performing better, and games better be running better than your prior GPU. It just has to be. If not, and you're satisfied and you're content, you are a corporate slave and you are damage controlling. Anybody out there who is damage controlling this, saying that it's cool for a brand new $500 machine to be running games in the same exact way as the prior system, well then, I don't know what to tell you. When I go out and buy new things, I expect new things to perform and outperform the old things. Now, for the people that game on 30 frames per second and are happy that the X is also capped at 30 frames per second, they also have a point. Because, I mean, like it or not, as stupid as it sounds or not, I mean, people could be buying the X for a significant advantage. It could considerably be considered pay to win. And it's not fair that, the initial adopters are placed in an unfair advantage compared to people who went out and bought a brand new console. And I completely understand the people that bought the Xbox One X, but think about the people that are still in the OG Xbox or the Xbox S or whatever, the Slim, whatever. These are the same people that said they don't like PC because they want to play on a level playing field. They don't like PC because they like that balanced, competitive level playing field, that everybody plays at the same frame rate, that everybody plays on a controller, that nobody plays on a mouse, that everybody's on a level playing field. That has been a consensus argument for one of the pros of buying a console. You are playing on a level playing field. Now, I know nothing is entirely completely level. Believe me, I know. Example. TVs have different latencies. TVs have different input lags. People have different sound systems. And yes, that is an inside joke to a moron who said that a sound system is better than controller input and latency, which is absolutely absurd. But people have bigger monitors, people have smaller monitors, people have the Elite controller, people have scuff controllers, people have regular controllers. Sometimes people even use those mouse to key or keyboard to mouse or controller to keyboard or whatever. Those adapters let you use mouse and keyboard on a console. There is a host of different things that you can use to give yourself a competitive advantage on a console, but those are fundamental accessories that exist outside of the console. Baking in the difference between 60 and 30 is baked right into the game's fundamentals. Period. It is. So I can understand the arguments on both sides. On one side, you have people that believe that they should get more for their buck and they should get what exactly they purchase. They should get what they purchase. And on the other hand, you have a group of gamers who bought into an ecosystem which was designed to be a more level competitive playing field, because it's exactly what they did not want. Hence why they're on consoles to begin with, because they don't want to be on PC, because they want the most level playing field as possible. They don't want to deal with people using mouse and keyboard. They don't want to deal with people using 144 hertz monitors. They don't want to deal with people using extra wide monitors. They just want to pick up and play and have a competitive level playing field. So those are both sides of the equation. Me, my side, again, I'm with the guys on the Xbox One X side. I understand how the original people on the S feel, but again, when you pay for something, you should get what you pay for. And Microsoft advertised this as the highest frame rates, the highest pixels, no compromises. And if you're going to make a machine and push a machine, then push a machine. Why would you make a new console not to push it? It doesn't make sense. And a lot of people are saying that it's Bluehole or the PUBG developers' decision. But again, if Microsoft is paying for this game, if Microsoft is backing this game, Microsoft should simply override it. Now, it actually does make me happy that people in the Xbox community are actually speaking up and upset about this, because if this was Nintendo fans, then they wouldn't have a problem with it. Nintendo fans are perfectly happy with 24 frames at sub HD, at sub SD levels. They're completely happy with it. Nintendo fans won't complain about anything. 2017, and they are perfectly fine with frame rates and resolutions of the N64. Yes, you heard me, the N64. So while I understand where both people are coming from, at the end of the day, I believe capitalism rules, and what you pay for is what you should get.